It is what it is. But Z Farm, it's on you, brother. 15 and 67 last year. You get Alex Sarr in the first round this year, and many others. I want you to talk about what you think is next for your team. And do you see any major improvements? Just again, whatever you want to say for the Wizards as far as what's next, you can spell it all out right now.
So, yeah, I think the Wizards brought in a bunch of veteran assets that they could trade off at the deadline this year. They brought in guys like Malcolm Brogdon, Jonas Valanciunas. Valanciunas is on a very team-friendly contract. So
I forgot about that. See, I'm gonna pause real quick, but this is the point. This is the point of it, because this happened last year. When we get so locked into the NFL, you sort of kind of forget shit that took place. Like, I forgot y'all even signed Valanciunas, like a 3-year, $30 million deal
for good reason.
I'm not a Laker fan, so I don't agree. I can't speak for that. I can't wait to watch Hero, Jimmy, and Bam. So, you know.
Yeah. We also have guys like Rashawn Holmes and Marvin Bagley. I think our center depth is way better than it was last year. And I think one of those guys will get traded before the season starts. But concerning last year and what's next for us, it's just building off the young core. I mean, this team now has, in my opinion, one of the best young cores it's had in its franchise history. You're now at Bilal Coulibaly, who last year took the steps defensively to prove that he can live up to the expectations of being that top guy, that top wing, either small forward or shooting guard, which I think he will play in the future. I think he will be a 2 for this team. Then you bring in Alex Sarr, who has the traits defensively, but the next 2 years you're going to see how he develops offensively. That's what I want to see what he does this year. Can he take those steps offensively to be that player that was expected to be the number 1 overall pick? But yeah, this team, it has a lot of assets to trade off. Kuzma, I thought was going to get traded, as you guys know. I wanted Kuzma traded at the deadline last year. I want him traded in the offseason. They have not pulled the trigger yet. I'm waiting to see what they do with him. He is the franchise guy right now, but I do think he is one of the guys that they potentially move this offseason or during this deadline as well. So, yeah, it's really just building off the young core. That's really it. You brought in a new coach. Instead of Wes Unseld Jr., who was not good. So yeah, it's really just Cooper Flagg. That's the future. That's it. That's really it. So yeah,
you
looking forward to Cooper.
One, I appreciate you kicking off this segment and being ready. I truly like you and B-Mac balance of enjoying and talking about both sports. Many people will label you guys as NFL guys, right? Or you guys probably found fact that talking fact that due to NFL talk. But D-Mac enjoys talking about the Nets when he can, or talk about basketball. You enjoy talking about the Wizards, even if you troll sometimes. You know, you still DC everything for the most part, outside of the Commanders, because you're a Ravens fan. But yeah, you brought back to my attention Brogdon. I forgot about that. Obviously, this looks like this will be your guys' starting lineup this year with Brogdon, Kuzma, Sarr, and Jonas. I like Bub coming off the bench. Bilal is still there. First round pick from last year. Obviously, you guys made a small trade with the Pacers. 15 and 67 last year. Personally, I don't see much improvements for you guys when it comes to this year. It'd be hard for me to see you guys win over 20 games this year.
You sure?
I know what I said last year. I know what I said last year, but I did not do the math. I was not doing the math when I made that comment. But I don't think the Wizards will win, whatever I said, 23, 24, 25, whatever that number was last year. I don't think they'll win.
Bro, didn't you spend 2 hours arguing that?
Yeah, bro. But you know how Heaven said it is.
I know y'all just be arguing in here for
You know how Heaven said it is.
Listen, the way they're going,
I like right. What do you mean, dude? You know how Heaven said it is?
Listen, I like it for
19 I get it. She was. What is he wrong?
I like it for 19 wins next year. I think they, obviously 15 wins is something you could very much improve on. And I don't think they get worse because they did add better pieces. But I don't think they get to that 20-win plateau because, again, the coaching is still not at that level. It is kind of a rebuilding coach. Once we do get out of this rebuild, we're going to look at a better option. But, yeah, we have pieces in the back end that I think will be on the roster. Vukovic, who you see on the depth chart there, is our 5 center. He is one of my favorite pieces that is not being talked about as much. Along with Keyshawn George, who I'm surprised is not on there as well.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm looking for him. I don't know why he's not up here. But who's this guy right here? You say him right here?
Vukovic, yeah. He was actually very solid last year towards the back end. He was kind of our backup center. Bagley and Rashawn Holmes did not play. So he was taking a lot of the reps last year,
Mm.
and he was a second-round pick the first time we actually hit, in my
He's a
opinion, on a
footer.
second-round pick. Yeah,
Okay.
center power forward. So, yeah, he does bring a lot to the table. He was a free agent. We were able to pick him back up for 2 years. So, yeah, I do think he that's why I said we might trade Bagley or Holmes so we could fit him into the rotation.
Look
somehow,
like
so.
it looked like he shoots the ball.
Yes, he does.
He's at least attempting them, so I would assume he can shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who this is at all. I didn't even know he played for you guys last year, but I mean, why would I be paying attention to the Wizards game? But okay, good point out, bro. Anthony Gill, Johnny Davis' ass.
Yeah, I don't think Johnny's makes the roster. If you guys watch him in summer league, that was he can't even hit layups anymore, man. Yeah, man. He got to go to Euro League, man.
Yep. I mean, I'm not on bullshit. I am grinding. I'm grinding facts and stats right now, brother. I always will prioritize facts and stats. Gaming comes second. I'll be on a game with y'all within the next 60 minutes, brother. Game with y'all for like 3 to 4 hours. Go to the gym, come back from the gym, shower, eat, get on the game again, and that's my night. Let the NBA guys run their segment. I'm an NBA guy too. Like what you mean, bro? Like I'm an NBA guy too. I'm always gonna prioritize fact and stats game. Fact and stats is my life, pretty much. But yeah, Z-Farm, again, I thank you for kicking off the segment. If I had to add my little 1-2 to this, yeah, you hit it right on the nose. You got guys that you guys can definitely move off if need be, whether that's for draft capital, which I would expect you guys to go in that direction. Whenever you can draft 3 guys in the first round, you will want to see those guys develop. Let's start there. Bud, Keyshawn, and Sar. Those guys who are viewed, and Bilal from last year. Those guys are viewed as building blocks. For you guys, I'm not saying any of them are a cornerstone. But those guys are viewed as building blocks for what's next in DC. So I think you guys, I don't want to see you guys get in a situation where you let Brog and Valanciunas and maybe even Kuzma. I'm a little 50-50 on it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even Kuzma play out this whole 82-game season. I don't want to see a situation like that. I'll prefer you guys to get 2 out of those 3 traded and then get more capital because Brog can have a playoff team. Valanciunas can have a playoff team. And plus, he's on a friendly contract, like you stated. 15-67 last year. I don't see you guys winning over 20 games, but I'm more so focused on the improvement for your young guys, the development for your young guys, and you guys just looking like more of a team this year than what you guys looked like last year. Last year wasn't fun to watch Warriors games. I even went to a couple in person, and it just was hard to watch. You guys look like an AAU team out there that didn't really like to play for each other. Who's your coach again? You guys have a new coach?
Yeah, we brought in the assistant coach last year. He has a lot of reputation, or not a lot of reputation, but he's been a college high school coach. He was brought through the system with Wes Unseld Jr. His name is, you know what? I already forgot his name, which is the crazy part about it. Brian Keefe, off the top of my head. Yeah, Brian Keefe. He was our assistant coach for years. He was back in the Scott Brooks era, and he was with Scott Brooks as well. He stayed with the Wes Unseld team, and when Wes was fired, he was promoted as the head coach. Again, we signed him, I think, to a 3-year deal. So I think that's what the team sees as the rebuilding window. And if he does good, we'll see if he stays. But I think it's more of what the Rockets did with their old head coach. I think once the rebuild, or once they see the rebuild is near complete, they're looking for a guy that will compete with them. So I think he's just going to be here 3 years. So we'll see what he does. But it's definitely better than whatever Wes Unseld Jr. was promoting last year.
Yeah.
A lot of fourth quarter leads were blown last year, and that's why we are 15 and whatever, because we had a lot of double-digit leads in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left, and those leads were blown instantly because we could not settle in a zone coverage. So, yeah, hopefully that changes this year a little bit.
Yeah, Miles, we can lock that game, man. What Cardinals game? I heard you, Z-Farm, my bad. That was rude. I heard everything you just said. Trust me.
Oh, you're all good.
Miles, we can definitely go to that game. And I can't remember what Cardinals game you're coming out here for. Can't promise I'm going to care to go to a Cardinals game with you. The Cardinals game was the day before. The Bears, November 3rd. Do the Ravens play that? The Ravens? That's up. November 3rd. Ravens. Denver. Yeah, we can do that game too. I'll go to that Cardinals game with you too. And we can get that Sixers and Suns game. So yeah, we locked in back-to-back days. Yeah, we can hit them drinks. I added my 1-2 on the Wizards real quick. I know it's just the Wizards, so probably people don't want to, say too much. But I am going to call on people that I know that love to talk about sports in general. Having said, you are the first person I'm calling on. I know you love the game of basketball. I know you love sports. You watch baseball. You watch hockey.
I don't know who told you I like basketball.
You watch football. The Washington Wizards. What do you think is next for that team?
I don't watch that team. I'm not gonna lie. I don't watch that team. I know nothing about that team. Not one thing. It looks like they have a lot of vets on there. If that's the starting lineup, I wouldn't put that as the starting lineup because I would more focus on just putting the youngsters to play and just let them run. But whatever. But they probably get their chance because Malcolm Brogdon's probably gonna get hurt. So I guess the young guards can play. But I think that's it. I think they'll probably look to try to increase the value of Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma. Maybe try to flip them. That's the only reason why I can see them playing them a lot. Like in the first half of the season, just see if you can increase their value to flip them and then probably end it with the youngsters. But that's about it. That's all I got on that.
Again, I know it's a Washington Wizards job, so it's it's really just a breeze through.
What's Poole contract? My fault,
yeah. It's like 20-something, I think.
It's a big ass contract that the Golden State Warriors gave them because they won a championship.
If he got the
contract,
4 years, 120.
Should he have like 3 years left? I think it's
you talking about Poole? You said Poole or Poole?
Yeah, he said Poole.
Oh, Poole.
He gets 4 years, 120, bro. That's what he signed for the Warriors.
Yeah, so he makes 29 this year,
season,
and then 31 next year, and then 34, and then he's a free agent in 27. So, and Kuzma as well. Kuzma as a 23, he goes down after this year. So he was a front loaded contract. So he makes
his contract is really good.
He's gonna be that's a nice little trade piece right there.
Yeah, in next 2 years especially, because I think he makes 19 mil in 26, but I think he'll renegotiate by then. So
the agent did that. Why did he do that?
They literally did that so they could trade him. I ain't gonna lie. They knew what's going on.
Remember when we had that convo, Ev, about Kuz?
Yeah, you got a good memory.
For no reason.
What convo?
That was a funny day because Space is messed up. Space is messed up, and me, her, I think Jay Will was in there just talking for hours.
Wild ass statement, L. What the hell?
Wait, what'd I say?
My fault. What you said to not?
Wait, because you said that they should have. You said that they should have let Kuz walk.
Yeah, I did.
I do remember that convo.
Yeah, they were arguing for like an hour by
themselves. Bro, that was
more than an hour. It was more than an hour.
I didn't think
an hour by yourselves, and then we.
That was one of their classic back and forth over nothing.
Yeah, that was a long time by ourselves for sure. That was a long time by ourselves for sure. Like it was an ISO. Like, that shit was clear the fuck out. Like nobody was on our way. Nobody was on our way. It was me and her. Boop boop. Jab for jab. I really didn't think the Wizards were going to do that. But I mean, it is what it is, bro. I thought Kuzma was going to go elsewhere for probably a little less. But to find out he got a front load contract, I didn't even know that. I'm about to look it up right now. That's interesting. You don't typically see young guys taking front load contracts, to be honest.
It's probably because the total amount that he's getting is probably more than what he would have gotten.
Yeah,
and plus
he got 4 years, 90. So
yeah, and he probably also wanted to keep his rights.
True. This is a guy that people should trade for right now. I mean, 23 million, 21 million, and 19 in the final year.
Bro,
that's a steal. Guy like OG Anunoby
Kuzma's gonna get moved, bro. Trust me, niggas.
But the thing is,
I
just checked the contract.
Will not be there.
He has a 15% trade kicker like Bradley Beal does. So I guess
not bad.
A Wizards thing.
Still not bad.
But yeah. So the 19 mil, if he is traded, is not 19 mil. I think that'd be like 23, 24 or something. So.
That's probably another reason why he took the front loaded because he knows he's gonna get traded and he's gonna get more money.
Yeah. Honestly, it's easier to match. It's almost easier to match with more money. Now.
That nigga Kuz they might get a first.
A trade kicker might actually help people.
We should get 2 first for him.
Settle down.
No, that's not me reaching.
I dip on your chill.
Did you just say 2 first?
Yeah.
If a contender wants to come to me, and I'm being serious, I've watched multiple players that are not as great as what Kuzma is. Half that price,
I love Kuz, but great is
Depends on the protections, bro.
come.
We just saw the New York Knicks trade for Mikal Bridges for what? 5 first-round picks? I can't
Brother,
get 2.
hold on now.
I can get
Think about who you just said.
You don't think
Yeah,
Mikal
think about what I
Bridges
just said.
adds
If you
more
talk
value?
First in a couple of these seconds, and you're gonna have to be happy. I ain't gonna hold you.
I'm taking.
Plus the Knicks just and plus the Knicks have a.
They can get a first. They can get.
You
a first.
don't. You don't think
They can get a first.
Yeah,
No, the Knicks have a surplus too, so that kind of juices his value.
Guess what?
I just
first a little crazy, twin, but you could definitely get one first.
I mean, to kind of maybe give like side with you a little busy for him. If a team if a team can splurge and can afford to splurge a little bit on the first, then
none of the people that are trying to win right now have any assets like that to splurge.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted the Kings, because the Kings had some assets, but they don't have those anymore. But
I'm not talking to and like y'all not winning shit. So like what I said, none of the teams.
It doesn't matter if we're winning shit. We're looking for the future.
No, I don't mean you. I
was gonna say if you can't help our future, we're not gonna do it.
That shit, how long? What you not finna do, Heaven Sent? Because if anybody not gonna win shit, the Lakers not finna win.
You right, because they already won. You
said
you
can't go agree with
this.
you.
About world champion Kyle Kuzma.
Is Heaven Sent even in here representing the Lakers? Like, does that even bother you?
There will be no one representing the Lakers. Breaking news. I'm sure y'all know that.
We have tapped out.
Heard that and didn't give a fly.
I'm holding it down, but y'all tripping, bro.
I'm so emotionless.
Nah, no funny. Nobody in here talking Lakers basketball this year.
No,
nigga, yes I am, bro.
They lying.
These two jokes too, bro. This they little.
I got Byron.
That's cap.
I got Byron.
Byron gonna do it.
It's not that I'm not gonna talk it.
These two will too, but they little.
But it's hold on,
to like February.
Last 2 years, you ain't peeped this Jordan. They little off-season gimmick.
It's not that I'm not gonna talk it, bro. It's not gonna be. They're gonna be back. But y'all gonna be wanting to talk it with like emotion or like expectations, bro. Like I'm gonna just be talking basketball. Nice solid little team,
bro. Look Kobe, man. Look Kobe, big man.
Ronnie James over under 1 point a game.
No, man.
Hey, bro, niggas
where my niggas slide at, yo?
Damn, they said Heaven Sent only talking about Ant.
You know that, B. I can't wait for the Minnesota talk.
She only talking about.
She really smiling.
Really switched up on you, Byron. That's crazy.
Oh, go ahead somewhere.
Oh, we will be. Me, B, and Scam probably will be doing a podcast.
Scam.
Gonna root for the second best point guard in this draft.
Byron, she switched up on you, gang.
Bro, you know how she do, bro. She gonna have a few other little finesse moments this season. She gonna be alright.
No.
Gotta put in her little finesse corner.
She gotta protect her.
But any other final comments on the Wizards? Anybody got anything to say?
You really dragging this Wizards talk?
I'm surprised there were first comments on Wizards.
We starting this.
All right, that's it for the Wizards. The next team, before